This is Bruce Friedman of Adult Site Broker, and welcome to Adult Site Broker Talk, where every week we interview one of the movers and shakers of the adult industry, and we discuss what's going on in our business. Plus, we give you a tip on buying and selling websites. This week we'll be talking to Mike Pinto, CEO of Smutify. Adult Site Broker is proud to announce Adult Site Broker Cash, the first affiliate program for an adult website brokerage. With Adult Site Broker Cash, you'll have the chance to earn as much as 20% of our broker commission, referring sellers and buyers to us at Adult Site Broker. Check our website at adultsitebroker.com for more details. First of all, today, let's cover some of the news going on in our industry. Instagram has announced it will be introducing a new nudity policy this week, which will now allow pictures of women holding, cupping, or wrapping their arms around their breasts. Instagram said the change was prompted by a campaign by Naomi Nicholas Williams, a black British plus-size model who had accused the Facebook-owned company of removing images showing her covering her breasts with her arms due to, and I quote, racial biases in its algorithm. It may take some time to ensure we're correctly enforcing these new updates, but we're committed to getting this right, an Instagram spokesperson told Reuters. Hearing her feedback helped us understand where this policy was falling short and how we could refine it, the spokesperson explained. Nicholas Williams told Reuters that overall, I'm very glad about the policy change and what this could mean for black plus-size bodies. According to Reuters, Instagram apologized last month to Nicholas Williams and said it would update this policy amid global concerns over racism in technology following the global Black Lives Matter protests this year. A state-sponsored effort in Germany that hardens intrusive age verification schemes to target specific leading adult platforms, including Pornhub, YouPorn, and My Dirty Hobby, has raised alarm among privacy and freedom of sexual expression advocates. The crusade to enforce state regulations on adult content has been spearheaded by an obscure local bureaucrat named Tobias Schmid since November 2019. According to an extensive report by Vice journalist Gabriel Geiger, Schmid has been redoubling his efforts to enforce existing mandatory age laws on porn sites like Pornhub, YouPorn, and xHamster. In practice, Geiger writes, this would mean that all visitors to the sites would have to upload pictures of official IDs, which would then be verified automatically. Schmid is the head of the State Media Authority, an agency that is part of the federal state government and is of equal rank as the ministries of a superior state authority. In April, Schmid loudly demanded weblocks be placed on Pornhub. Schmid was particularly bothered by gangbang content and how it was normalized on Pornhub's portal, among other sexual practices. He said if children get the impression that gangbang is a normal sexual practice in which the woman is used and humiliated, it is certainly an extreme problem. He is obsessed in his statements about policing normal versus not normal sexuality. The American Civil Liberties Union has released a comprehensive review of over 80 studies about sex work entitled, Is Sex Work Decriminalization the Answer? What the Research Tells Us. The research reviewed by the ACLU shows that full decriminalization has the greatest benefits for public health and safety. According to a statement by the ACLU, in addition to finding that decriminalization will improve public health and safety while increasing economic stability for sex workers, the studies reviewed do not indicate a clear link between criminalizing sex work and stopping human trafficking. Here are some of the ACLU's recommendations. Lawmakers should fully decriminalize consensual sex work by eliminating all criminal penalties for sellers and buyers. Remove all criminal penalties for youth who participate in sex work, but not for adults who exploit youth. Reform-minded prosecutors should decline to pursue charges related to consensual sex work. This includes both street-based sex work and laws like FOSTA SESTA that prevent sex workers from screening clients and discussing safety online. Now let's feature our property of the week that's for sale at Adult Site Broker. We're offering a sex toy review site dedicated to exploring sexuality and sharing and reviewing the author's favorite sex toys. The thing that really stands out is the extremely high quality content used throughout the site. Most sites, especially review sites, use junk content that is very obviously written just to rank for terms in Google. This site is written in the first person and is a joy to read. The authors take the reader on a journey, showing them which toys that they find the most enjoyable and explaining how to best use them. The rankings in Google are high because Google has rewarded their site due to the quality of the content. It's also a nicely diversified site in terms of revenue. It's from a good mix of affiliate offers, so the business doesn't hinge on only one main program. The site is also very diversified in terms of traffic to individual pages. The most trafficked page on the site only makes up 14% of the traffic, so it's not dependent on just one page ranking well. All content is exclusive, nothing has been taken from elsewhere. Pretty much all of the traffic comes from organic Google results. No ad or traffic buying has ever taken place. This is an outstanding opportunity for the new owner if they want to further boost the traffic. This outstanding sex toy review site is available for only $225,000. Now time for this week's interview. My guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk is Mike Pinto, owner of Smutify. Mike, thanks for being with us today on Adult Site Broker Talk.
Hi, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Now, Mike is fairly new to our business. He hails from the beautiful country of Portugal. He started Smutify, which I know I'm going to say Smutify, by the way, as he likes to say, a COVID-19 project. Smutify is an adult social network. In the past, Mike has worked in the textile industry for more than 20 years, starting as a salesman, climbing the ladder until he became CEO of one of Europe's leading brands in baby and children's clothes. In the mid-2000s, he went into tech, working for more than 10 years with major brands like Vodafone. For the last 8 years, he's been embracing tech to build and develop apps, websites, online marketing for handyman and service providers. And then came COVID-19 and Mike's COVID-19 project. So, Mike, why don't you tell us what Smutify is?
Hi. Okay. Smutify is the answer, let's say like this, to an ongoing politically correct speech that is embracing the social networks. Smutify is an adult social network. It's mainstream, meaning not close to the sex industry, for instance. It's a mainstream site, social network, much like Facebook. In terms of look and feel and way of working, you can create groups, you can engage, post, react with likes and hearts and stuff. Well, other options also, quite interesting ones, but by the way. But it's a way to people, to grown-up people, adult people, express their adulthood. If you go on Facebook, for instance, it's quite easy to find someone getting shot or killed or having a car crash. It's quite easy to see war scenes, and that's fine. That's accepted. That's part of life. But if someone, man or woman, posts a nipple, a woman's nipple, they're gonna get banned. If they post something more than a nipple, they're gonna be expelled for life. Okay,
that's right.
If you look at the one recent example, Turnbull, they just simply banned pornography. Sorry. There's Instagram. Well, you've got a lot of hot stuff going on Instagram. Again, clothes, and you'll get left out with a couple of networks that I can recall. It's called Twitter, and it has a lot of noise, and there's a complete set of unbelievable confusion to be able to understand whatever is going on. And you cannot have a serious conversation on Twitter. There's a huge amount of hatred going around.
Sure.
And then you've got, I don't know, Reddit, and they have the mods on the subreddits, which actually destroy more than build. They think they are keeping up with the trends and keeping up with the policy, with their policy, their little feud policy. And I lost count of the amount of accounts that I got banned from just because I made a post or a comment, or I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what they're thinking. But coming to Smutify, Smutify came out as an answer to all of this, as a place where grown-ups are able to express their most intimate, I'm not going to say secrets, I'm going to say desires, I'm going to say fetishes. And if they like anal sex, or if they like cam shots, or if they like, there's a couple there from South Africa that they are nudists, and they post nude pictures and nude videos of their vacations, and they sell the videos of those vacations. They went to Thailand, they went to some Kruger Park or some park in South Africa or Mozambique, and they sell the videos, and with the money of selling the videos, they go on other vacations and make more videos. So
that's awesome.
If you think of it, you have no place else. I'm not saying that I'm unique, because there's no such thing online, but you don't have any place else where you can safely go and paste and post something like that, or have a decent conversation about if you like more dildos or vibrators, let's say like this. We have that conversation there with users, and without hatred, without bad mouthing. That's not allowed, and we'll talk about it later. And people just openly participate and share what they like, what they don't like, and well, everyone that goes in really likes it, and I think that's the best business card that I can hand out.
Sure. Yeah, it's a very nice site. Funny story you mentioned about you can't put nipples. I put this funny meme with Vladimir Putin with tits. It was about the coronavirus vaccine, and I said, you see, Vladimir Putin took the vaccine, and look, it's had no effect on him.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it showed him with tits, and they pulled it. They said it was inappropriate content.
See the point? Okay. No. It's
no. Facebook did. It's so freaking funny. And I mean, here's just a funny meme, right? But it had nipples. Nope, can't do it. So,
it sucks. It sucks.
Yep. It's ridiculous. Like we've never seen those before.
It's not that. I don't want Facebook or Instagram for that matter to have explicit pornography there. I don't think that's the place. Okay, you have to have a place and time for everything, but too much is too much. It's for instance, in Smutify we have 3 ground rules, like 3 pillars, where it stands, and I want to say this like this. I want to keep this as naive as possible. First rule, it has to be legal. Okay? If it's not legal, it doesn't have a place there.
Sure.
Second rule, it has to be consented. If it's not consented, there's no place there. Third rule is no bad mouthing, no hatred. You're gonna go. It doesn't fit. Okay. I had this 2 women. Separate women, 2 users, big, beautiful, big women. They were afraid to register and share and post because they were big. they were fat, and they were afraid of being, bullied,
Sure.
mocked about. And I said,
Mhm.
that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They posted, it didn't happen. People just cheered them up and say, good, good. You got the courage to post here. You look beautiful. You fixed your hair. You look wonderful. The lingerie looks amazing on you. Because if you come to think of it, what's missing on online and well, actually everywhere in life is positivity. And even
Sure.
not that it was a bad situation, it wasn't. But even in a bad situation, for instance, COVID, um, good things come out. Okay,
Yep.
I got stuck. And most of us here in Europe, we got stuck at home.
Mhm.
I'm married with 3 kids, uh, and the kids are all home. Actually, the third kid was born on COVID.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, she was born the first day of confinement. Um, so the house itself is like a madhouse. 3 kids and
I
24
can only
hours a day.
imagine.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I got stuck with this and the vanilla work, the regular work that I do with marketing and branding and the Facebook ads and businesses and well, all the shebang. It was kind of a standstill. Nobody knew exactly what's going on. And
Sure.
I said, I'm not going to sit around and just look at the ceiling. So, and I started doing Smutify. Well, it was an answer to a need that I think it existed online, a void.
Sure.
And I built this. I hope it's a wonderful thing. But it's something that came from a very bad situation. COVID is bad. I took the time during the COVID confinement to build something that I hope it's good. You can always look on the positive side of stuff and make good things out of it. And
Sure.
this is
Sure.
what Smutify stands for.
Right.
You know what? Just a quick note. You know what smutty means?
hmm
Smutty. You know the translation of it? It means dirty. It means obscene. It means
Right.
pornographic.
Yes.
So Smutify is, come on, bring it up. It's all yours. Really, really.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Right. Now, have you worked in our industry before?
No.
So this is brand new for you.
Yes, it's a new industry. I'm quite used to doing stuff like this. Well, as you said, I left textile in a good situation to go into tech, but I didn't have any connections on. Actually, there's a passage in my life during 4 years that I managed the stock. I did the stock management and buying and selling and negotiating with the industry for pharmaceuticals. I managed 60 pharmacies at once. What was bought, what was ended on the counter, what was sold, getting the best prices, the best quantities, adjusting things. During 4 years, I also did that. It was a very, very good experience. It gave me connections and gave me experience to work with humongous companies like nowadays quite famous AstraZeneca and Pfizer's and all the big players. And I'm quite comfortable in going around several industries.
Sure.
And finding out what's their core, what they stand for. There's good people everywhere. There's bad people everywhere. It's not good people and bad people are not niches. Are
No,
constant
not at all.
everywhere.
Not at all. They're not races. They're not industries. In fact, there's a lot more good people in adult than there are people otherwise. I think you're going to find out.
I'm coming to that. All the people that I've been meeting over the past month, actually the past couple of months, because this started in February, and I kept this closed. It's like soft lunch, I kept this closed, just the invitation only, and I got to 800 users. That's not bad with a closed platform. And I just a couple of months ago, I started looking into the industry, and everyone that I've been meeting, well, really nice people, willing to develop things together, wanting to share, wanting to make things work. And I guess that the community is so much beaten up by the by the rest of the world,
Yes.
that if someone comes in with open arms,
Yes.
it's received with open arms. That's my feeling.
You are absolutely right. All the years I was in mainstream, I came into adult, and I all of a sudden became a member of the family. So welcome to the family, Mike.
Thank you.
So besides the fact you were sitting around and with crazy kids all around, why else did you put Smutify together?
I'm quite. This is awkward to say. Anyway, I'm quite a sexual guy. I really like sex. Just not just the boning thing. I think sex is as important for me as breathing, or as eating or drinking. It's for instance, if I know it's outdated, it's okay, no problem. If you go to the Maslow Pyramid of needs, I consider sex to be on the lower bottom, because it's a very, very basic need. It's not necessarily a physiological need, but I think sex in the Maslow Pyramid has a place in all 6 levels, or 5 levels, 6 levels. Okay, I think it has a place in all the levels. That's the only thing in place present in all the levels. It's part of me. Okay, I'm not saying it's not a question of consuming porn. I don't see it like that. I consume TV shows every day. I consume movies every day. I consume, red berries, fruit juices every day. Porn, it's just something that exists. It's quite difficult to go online on adult sites, not porn sites, adult sites. I mean, other issues, and not be invited by porn in some way. And I think that 50 Shades of Grey really created a turning point on the mainstream, on the way that people look to what is an adult relationship. Not that 50 Shades of Grey represents the correct BDSM stuff. It doesn't matter. But it showed the housewife. It showed the middle-aged, middle-class guy that he can be smutty with his wife and give him a couple of spanks in the butt and stuff like that, and changed the way people think and see what adulthood in terms of sex is. I think this mind shift, this repositioning, is growing very, very fast. I mean, really fast. There was this movie from Italy or Turkey or whatever, the 365. I don't remember the name. That's on Netflix anyway. The movie is not good, but it has a lot of hot scenes, so it made a huge impact in women. So, if women are willing to go online, Netflix or other, to see, I'm not talking about Pornhub or X videos. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about mainstream sex, mainstream porn, mainstream erotic. If they are willing to buy books and look it up to get a movie that shows a couple of butts, or even a full frontal nude of a guy, because it's quite common to see full frontals of women, that means that the society, the majority of the society is shifting. Okay, I think there was a need of a place where people could express that. I don't want this to be closed from the industry, nor closed into the industry. Meaning, the industry has a place. Imagine, for instance, you got Amazon. Okay, I built a small Amazon inside. There's a marketplace where you can buy stuff or where you can sell stuff. I expect with time to be all adult stuff, but you can sell a T-shirt or a guitar or whatever you want. But in fact, you can sell used panties, you can sell dildos, vibrators, you can sell all kinds of sex toys or lingerie or BDSM apparel, whatever you want. Why? Because there's no place else to do that. You've got millions of sex shops online. There's no Amazon sells sex toys, but it's not the same. There's no Amazon for adult-related stuff. There isn't. There's no market.
There are adult toy stores, BDSM toy stores.
I know. No, that's what I'm saying. You've got millions of sex shops online where everyone sells that, but the same way as you've got clothes stores and home appliance stores and mobile phone stores. But you come to think of it, most of the selling is done under Amazon because they have a marketplace where you can, for instance, compare prices. For instance,
some of it is. Yeah. There's also outside of Amazon, of course.
Of course. But to the extent of adult content, I built it to provide a service to whoever wants. For instance, that couple, the South African that I told you about, they sell their videos of their nude vacations, and they go on other vacations with the money.
Yeah,
there was no place to do that. Normally, regularly, you find conversations about. Well, you have to look at it. It's an open thing for adults.
Got it.
There wasn't any. You cannot have a serious, my opinion, you cannot have a serious conversation about an issue like this on Twitter.
Oh yeah, of course. Now, who does Smutify target for the most part?
I think there are three major segments that I want to target. The first one is the mainstream, is the John Doe and the Jane Doe. That I want them in. I think everyone has their kinky side. If they like to watch, to be a voyeur or whatever, a leecher, whatever you want to call it, it's okay. They can come. There's a lot of content to be seen. If you want to share, if you like to share, there's this huge current of husbands liking to share their wives' pics and stuff, or what they do or they don't. I'm okay with it. It's perfectly fine. Come in, you have a place there. So the John Doe and Jane Doe are very, very welcome, and I want to target them as much as I can. It's like having an alter ego, you know. You can be Miss Housewife on Facebook and Instagram and post pictures of the kid. You can be Miss Evil Housewife on Smutify and blow the place up. And I'm very, very happy with it. And as I said, it's a Maslow need, and you can express yourself freely. Sure. That's one segment. That's my main target. And then there are two targets. It looks the same, but they're not. I want to target the sex workers. Okay. I don't intend, in the near future anyway, I don't intend to sell subscriptions to users. In terms of, I don't intend sex workers to sell subscriptions to users. And I'm quite referring to a specific point. It's called OnlyFans. I don't want to compete to OnlyFans. That's not my place. That's not my point. Smutify was not built to compete with OnlyFans. Smutify was not to compete with campsites of Chatterbait or whatever. Actually, Smutify was built for sex workers to come in and say, look, this is me. This is what I do. You can see me on OnlyFans there. You can book a cam show with me on Chatterbait or Prestige Cams or whatever cams. And we'll spend a good time together. And you can come to the shop and buy the panties that I was wearing during the cam show, or the bra, or the vibrator, or Okay, my wish list is a remote Wi-Fi controlled sex toy for couples. Let's do this. You buy this for me. You have it delivered. We schedule when I receive that. You install the app and you control my orgasm, and we do things online. And we do this in a camp. It's endless. Okay, for sex workers, having a platform that it's quite open for them to interact with their target. Um, I think it's wonderful. I know that you've got Pornhub, you've got Models Hub, you've got the whole shebang. Okay, but you've got millions of social networks, and still Facebook is what it is. Okay, so I
Sure.
think that targeting the sex workers in this environment, for them it's quite good. It's a place where I'm quite sure they will feel comfortable. I have some there, and the feedback that I have is that the platform is excellent. They really love how it works. So I guess I'm okay with it. And the third segment, also industry, is the adult sex toy apparel industry. If I was in that segment, I think, okay, imagination is the limit, but I think that one of my main problems would be how to market my products. If you go
always.
if you go and sell a dildo, it's quite straightforward. But if you develop, and we've been seeing that coming, some high-tech sex toys with apps, without apps, special insert positions, and you should put this part here and that part there. It's a lot nice. It's very, very nice that you go on YouTube and you have someone presenting. Oh, look at this! You see this? This is quite nice. You put this in here and that in there, and you expect that to press and do that sucks.
Right.
If you're in the adult industry producing sex toys, now, well, you add Pornhub and other stuff like that. Here, you can actually build a page, build a group, engage with the buyers, with the users, and say, okay, this is how it's used. And you can actually have someone using it, testing it out, see, look, if you put it here, it's nice. But if you move it 1 inch to the side, it's going to be even nicer because you're going to touch the G spot, and there it's going to touch the clitoris, and do this and do this and do that. But
you can actually demonstrate it. You can actually demonstrate it as opposed to having to be generic about it when you're on a mainstream platform like YouTube.
There you go. I think this has a huge potential. I'm not pulling in. I'm not saying that I'm the best or that my platform is the best. Not the point. But the industry now has a specific place to target their users and clearly explain how some stuff is intended to be used. Of course, you can take this and you can take it to the limit. There's going to be ads about it. There's going to be investment done about it. But also, for instance, I follow on Facebook. I follow Lilo. You know the brand. They make very nice posts, but every single post done on Lilo on Facebook is an article from a magazine. Now, explain to me, because I'm quite dumb, how come a brand that for me is one of the leading ones, they have a vibrator that costs $15,000 or euros, it's made in gold. How can you promote on Facebook with magazine content like blog posts a $15,000 dildo? Sorry, I don't get it.
Kind of difficult.
Okay, so bringing the heavy industry, heavy in terms of goods, the heavy industry in, I think it's going to be a very good thing for the industry as a whole. I'm not talking any brand in specific. I'm talking, the positioning of the industry. It's like going to an erotica show. There you got booths of everything. You've got live sex. You've got here it's the same. It's exactly the same. You can show everything. You can tell everything. You can explain everything. It has to be legal. It has to be consented. No hatred.
Now, there's obviously other adult social networks out there. How are you positioning yourself in the market?
I think I explained this. I want it to be mainstream, definitely mainstream.
Well, I got that part.
Okay.
I thought you maybe wanted to expand on that. Now, what new features do you see coming up with the platform in the near future?
I guess the users are going to bring that in. I'll explain. I was talking a while ago regarding OnlyFans subscription or someone selling subscription to users. I don't see me integrating that in the near future, but if the users demand for it, if the users ask for it, and we've got the recent Bellathorn thing, so that exposes a lot of the fragilities of that model. If they want it, they got it. For instance, one thing that I heard, I never saw it because we don't have it here. I heard that in the States, Facebook did something called, I don't want to be mistaken, Facebook dating. That was a direct reply, let's say like this, to Tinder and Bumble and whatever. If, for instance, we're talking adult stuff, we're talking about sex, about, if they want a dating scheme, a dating extension inside, that can happen. It's
sure.
Fine. It's fine. It
makes sense.
Without that, without that extension, let's say like this, if you go there, you can actually see people. Someone posted a cam shot, and someone else said, "Hey, if you need any help, call me. I'm available." That's dating, And we're talking about open to the public comments.
Sure.
So if people are willing to do a public comment, say, "Hey, I'm available. If you want to have a party, I'm available." If that is the case on an open comment, I can only imagine what would come out of a dating scenery inside this context. I think it would be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I think the imagination is the limit. If whatever the users want, I'm quite sure that the platform is going to follow. And the more mainstream it is, the more mainstream I'm happy.
Good. Now, you have a day job.
I do. Actually,
and COVID's over. So not over, but it's lessened. No. How do you see Smutify occupying your time in the future? And do you think it may become a full-time thing at some point?
Oh, definitely, yes. Yes, I see that coming. I think there are two levels of concern here. The first one is being happy with what I do. And the second one is providing sustainable income to the household. Okay?
Of course.
So those two roads have to meet at some point. Meaning, I do marketing, I do branding, I do communication strategy for companies, I do Facebook ads and Google ads and pop-ups and pop-unders and you name it. And I hope this is the way, if I can, in a, 6 months period of time, if I can start monetizing Smutify to an extent that covers up the costs of Smutify, because I didn't do this on a shared platform. I bought a dedicated server on one of the biggest providers in Europe. I bought software. I invested all my time. I invested a lot of resources into making this happen, and I need to cover those costs because everyone needs money. Okay, so
Yes,
if I
indeed.
can if I can cover those costs, and if I can start releasing some income to the household coming from this, I see it quite clearly moving on from my regular day job to this one. Uh,
Sure.
that this makes me happy. Okay, makes me happy to see people enjoying themselves. Makes me happy. This is not a closed done deal, but it's something that I'm. If it's a done deal, I'm going to be proud about it. I'm working on a partnership with Pineapple Support to promote to promote some fundraising and some support to the sex workers through
That's
Pineapple
awesome.
Support
They're great.
because I need to give back to the community. That's the only way
Yep.
that the community is going to come to me. Okay, so we're working on it. Leia has been wonderful. I really,
Yes, she
really like
is.
talking to her.
She was fun. She was one of my first guests on the podcast, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay. She's wonderful. I'm quite dazzled with her. Let's say like this. She built a very nice thing. And
Yes.
if I can do something that I really enjoy, and Smutify I enjoy, and if that brings money to the company, to my household, if that supports the cost structure, hey, I don't see why this can't be my main thing.
Exactly.
I'm working on it to be the main thing. There are gazillions of companies doing branding and websites and communications flows, marketing, blah 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 blah. It's we're not. You're gonna get what I'm saying. I'm in Portugal.
Absolutely.
I'm in Portugal, and this is not the cheapest country in the world, but labor force here is averagely cheap. But you can actually have a website with an e-commerce store done with 700 euros, and I don't think that's the way. Okay, it's like you can go out and have dinner with 5 euros here on McDonald's, but you're gonna get fed, so you're not gonna be hungry. But that's not a decent meal. Okay, it's full of fat. The ingredients are what they are, but it's not a good meal. So I'd rather go for a good meal. Doing websites for 500 or 700 euros, that's not a day job. That's slavery. And and coming out of it to building something with a concept, with a marketing strategy, with a positioning in the market. As I see Smutify, probably I'm still not. I'm not able to vocalize, to express myself clearly where I want it to be, but I'm sure I'll get there.
You're doing fine.
I think coming to this platform and making a living out of it in terms of happiness from one side, or happy what I'm doing, and financially support on the other, hey, I would be quite happy. Quite happy.
Well, Mike, I wish you nothing but the best with it. I'd like to thank you for being our guest today on Adult Site Broker Talk, and I hope we'll get a chance to do this again really soon.
My broker tip today is part 2 of how to buy a site. Last week we discussed first deciding the type of site you want to buy and then establishing what your budget is. Next, it's time to look for your new website. So where do you look? Well, Adult Site Broker is a great place to start. We always have a nice variety of website and non-website properties for sale, but if there's a particular type of site you want, we can also act as your buyer's broker to help you find just the right site. Other places to look are boards like xbiz.net and gfy.com. But to be completely frank, unless what you're looking for is a really low-end small property, you're probably not going to find what you're looking for there. Of course, you could contact site owners yourself, but take it from someone who does it for a living.
It's a major hassle, and it can be really hard to even find out who owns a site. Almost all adult sites use Whois Privacy from their domain registrar. So when you send them an email, it will be to an anonymous address in most cases. And also in most cases, the emails aren't returned. We have a huge database of sellers and generally know who owns what. And if it's a website of note, if we don't know who owns it, we can always find out. We'll talk about this subject more next week. And next week, we'll be talking to PR guru Brian Gross. And that's it for this week's Adult Site Broker Talk. I'd once again like to thank my guest, Mike Pinto of Smutify. Talk to you again next week on Adult Site Broker Talk. I'm Bruce Friedman.